Welcome back, y'all. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of recording here. This is going to be a video that's kind of stretched out in different segments, but let's start recording now. So I got these DDX12s here that I'm taking out, and I'm about to show you what I'm about to put it in. So my plan is, well, this is my box that I built years ago, and I stirred it up pretty well. It was single baffled. These speakers were breaking screw heads off, so I ended up triple baffling it and put those 2-inch dowels in there. It's been holding up pretty well. Not too bad of a box. So I'm going to run this for a while, but I'm going to show you what I got next. We got some big daddies right here. That's the Skar VXF 12, the dual 4 ohms I got, because I plan on eventually, hopefully in the near future, but a little ways down the road, I'm going to get 2 more, and I'm going to build another box for 412s and have this thing fucking quaking. And I already wired in, I got my Taramps Big Boss 5K bass, and dude, it works. Just putting that amp on these speakers against the Skar RP1200 I had, that amp sucked like really bad, but just feeding these speakers clean power, like, it made a huge difference. So I'm really stoked to get these speakers broken in and throw some actual power at them. But it's going to be a little ways down the road. You see I got that one battery. It's just a flooded battery. It's a Group 31, but I plan on getting another one to put over there because, God, dude, those lithium batteries are so expensive. So that might be way down the road, but not anytime soon. I got to get some more welding cable because my main power wire is cheap copper clad. I got to redo that. You can see that one there. And then the biggest thing, which I have in the Miata, it's funny, I have a JS Alternators alternator in the Miata, but not one in the car with a system. So I still have yet to make a video on YouTube about it, but I am actually sponsored by JS Alternators, and I'm going to make a video about that, but probably tie that into this video. I've got to get an alternator, so I'm thinking about just go ahead and straight and get the biggest one. I'm going to get a 400 amp for the Mercury, so we got plenty of power, won't have to worry about that. But dude, in the Miata, I've had it in there, I don't know, probably a year and a half, and it just works. And the way they have it set up on the Miata, like, dude, well, y'all know I spin this car up past 7,500 RPM, and like, it just charges like 14 volts, never drops below. It'll be, you know, low 14s, like at all times. At idle, it charges around 14.6. But, you know, we need to get one in here now. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these in. I'm just going to put them in regular for now. Eventually, I think I want to, well, I got to get some more wire, but I think I want to flip them and run them upside down, so get a little bit of more volume out of this box. But for now, I'm just going to throw them in the way they were. All right, they're in now. So next step, I can take my multimeter, pull them speaker wires out, and I'm going to crank the voltage up on this thing. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to play him full tilt right away. Oh yeah, I cut the carpet back where I burnt that, but we'll deal with that later. I don't really know. I mean, you're supposed to break your speakers in, they say. I don't ever really remember breaking mine in completely, but I don't know. I'll probably play these on low power for a little bit, see how it goes. I'll do some research, see what ChatGPT has to say. Gonna swap my 300 amp fuses out, front and rear, for these 500s, so we can get a little bit more power out of what we got right now. Alright, it's a little while later, and we have a box of things. This stuff just went and got it from the parts store because I need to replace my idler and tensioner pulleys and a belt, which is a 1/2 inch shorter, because that's what we're gonna have to run with our 400 amp JS Alternators alternator. And we got a little adapter plug there to adapt it, because I guess that's just the GM style 4-pin deal, and adapt it over to the Ford. It's got the Ford front casing on it. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing in there, and it's really cold outside, so I'm gonna do my best to record some shots, but I'm gonna try to get this in as soon as I can. But yeah, look at that thing, it's beefy. So we should have all the power now. All right, I got the pulleys changed, and I got the old alternator out, or the stock alternator. I've just seen better days, but this thing's a trooper, man. This is the original one from '94. I'm pretty positive. I would think, I don't know, it's got that sticker on there, maybe it's been replaced, but I changed the regulator on it, at one point. It's Motorcraft, so it probably is original. But yeah, I mean, anyway. So on the back here, I've got this plug, which I've got that adapter plug out there that adapts to that. I'm probably going to shorten it a little bit because it doesn't need to be that long, and I'll wrap some Testa tape around it. But it's just the two outside plugs, so obviously we don't need that middle one there. But then we also have this one wire here, and I believe that this is supposed to be for the battery light on the dash. So hopefully it just won't come on while it's charging, and that still works normal. But if it does come on, I'll figure out a way to turn it off, because I don't really want to have that battery light on. But I'm going to, I didn't record because Ford sucks and they have a different size bolt for everything. So, but anyways, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to kind of throw this in, or I'll show you what it looks like as I'm bolting it up. All right, well, it's a little different. I didn't really think about it. There's different types of Crown Vic stuff on 4.6, but mine had a little tab on the back here that mounted on the back of the alternator. That's not going to fit. I'm going to have to ditch that, but that's where I had my ground. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to ground to the case. And it's just going to be held on with these two bolts here in the front, which I might be able to stick that ground cable under there and get behind the belts there. I think I can. That's probably what I'm going to do there. Yeah, that actually works out pretty well. So it's fine. Belt's gonna clear that, no problem. And we got literally just enough clearance right there. That's barely touching on the intake, but that'll be all right. It fits pretty well. Everything's nice and tight, and it'll be fine with just those two bolts. This little bracket isn't doing much anyways. So sweet. All right, now onto the wiring section, which is just a little adapter plug here, and I'm about to take this inside and shorten it because we're just going from that plug there to that plug. We just pretty much need a little converter deal. So yeah, I'm gonna take it inside, redo it, and loom it, and then we'll get a belt on, and yeah, we're practically done. Oh well, I gotta make another wire here, power wire there, which I got a little piece I'm gonna use, and I forgot I have another fuse back here, which that's more than likely got 150 amp in it, so that's been a big bottleneck. I gotta put a 500 in there, which I've got this copper clad aluminum wire as my main power wire. I bought it as a kit. I was never expecting to put anything big in here, but I'm gonna get some more welding cable and run another power wire to the back. I'll probably leave that there because I mean it's not gonna hurt. I mean it's obviously working now, but have another run of OFC cable going to the back. And yeah, I don't know if I've talked about it, but I got the Big 5 here. I've got ground to the frame, the body, and the alternator case, and then my power wire back, and then I've got one coming off the frame in the back there. So, but we're gonna do a little more wiring later on. All right, 1/2-inch belt, 1/2-inch shorter belt went on great. It's a little loose. I don't know. Maybe it'll probably tighten up when the engine's running, but let's see if we get a battery light. Oh, I need to tighten this down still. Let me do that real fast and we'll crank her up. All right, let's see how it does. 14.8, baby! No battery light. Cool, awesome. Well, that's neat. I don't have a battery light. Yeah, look at that, 14.8. Simple as that. Everything seems to be functioning as it should. See the tensioner moving down there. And it's tightening up when you give it throttle, so that's cool. Awesome. We had a very crusty 200 amp fuse on there. So now it's got a 500, and I'm gonna use this little guy here and put a couple of better terminals on, lugs on here, which, you know, it is what it is. There's still on the other back side of the fuse, it's got this crimp deal that it came with that I did a really long time ago when I just had that little RP1200 on there. Wasn't really worried too much about it. I'll put some of these on here. That should help for now. And if you are doing this on a Crown Vic Grand Marquis town car. That's the belt that I used right there, which is 98¼ inches long. So now I officially have a JS Alternators alternator on the race car and in the daily, which sweet. And I mean, this is the one that you know you'd think I would have had it on to begin with, but nah, man, it's been on the Miata for almost 2 years now, and that thing's been a trooper. And it just charges, it works, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's a little powerhouse. But so I have a promo code if you want to buy one. Miata Khalifa, all lowercase, no space. You can get 25 bucks off your order if you do decide to get a JS Alternators alternator, and I highly recommend it. You know, so they just work, man. And they have a pretty big presence online, but fortunately for me, they're a local business. They're here in Greer, South Carolina. So check them out. And I mean, dude, like, they compared to everybody else, like, they're fairly priced. But yeah, so I got a 250 on the Miata and a 400 in the Mercury now. But I flipped the subs, and they're a lot louder. It's about a week later, and they've broken in a good bit. So, because they were super stiff, like I couldn't even do that before. But I don't know exactly what ohms I'm getting out of this with the box rise and all that, because I'm not really too sure. But I've got it set, you know, it just at 1 ohm, just 3,000 watts coming out. So I'm gonna turn it up a little, maybe to 35 or 4,000, and just see what we can get out of it. I think it'd be safe, because with the rise it'll probably be, you know, closer to 1.5 to 2 ohms. The main goal is I want to get 2 more of these, build a bigger box for 4, run them at 0.5 ohm, and then this amp makes most of its power around 1 ohm. So hopefully the box rise will come up and it'll rest somewhere around 1 ohm, and we can, it was a little bit over 7,000 you can get before clipping. So that's the goal. But for now, I don't know, I'm gonna turn it up a hair and then we'll see what we get out of it. Well, one thing I will say about this Taramps amp that I do not like is the pots are so sensitive. It's damn near impossible to set the voltage with a multimeter. And I mean, all the way off, it's putting out a ton of power. Like, it's in, like, it was like 40 something volts. So I mean, it's like so finicky. Like, you just turn it the tiniest bit and like the fan comes on and it's wanting to go into protect and all that, or well, it shows the clip light comes on, but I mean, it jumps from like 50 to 70 something to 80 to 100, like just like that. So I'm trying to set it to 59. I got it to 58.5 and it took a long time. It was like 10 minutes just barely touching it, trying to get it there. So 59 volts would be about 3,500 watts. So with the rise and all that, I don't know what's actually getting. I'm gonna start there, and then everything's good, we'll go up to 4,000, and hopefully we'll be getting a good clean 3,000 or 3,500 RMS, somewhere around there. I don't know for sure. I need to get a clamp meter. That's the next thing. So let's go for a little ride and see what it sounds like. A little bit louder. Well, it's a while later. Up here at my old high school in the parking lot, and I'm gonna play a little music here. Yeah, I got sick for like a good couple weeks. It's been now actually exactly 2 weeks now, and I'm feeling a lot better finally, and been dealing with some things. I had to put my dog down of almost 15 years, so I've been kind of taking a break from recording things. But I come out here and I'm gonna play a couple songs. I realized that after watching that last clip back, that these tweeters are doing their job and the highs are coming through really well. So what I plan on doing here is, since this car came with a factory amp and I bypassed it, I'm just gonna unplug this little clip here so we can disconnect the door speakers, and we'll play some music that'll be just bass. But I turned it up a little bit. It's at with the multimeter, it's about 3,500 watts. I don't know exactly what it's getting with the box rise. It should hopefully be somewhere in the area of 3,000, but it sounds pretty good. I have to record on Snapchat though to be able to play music on my phone, so hopefully the video comes out all right. We'll see you in a second. Doesn't rattle too bad. See it rattling in the video. It's rattling pretty well though. I don't know how well these are going to turn out. Come on, hit again. Here it comes. this one goes in. Well, it doesn't rattle too bad. I'm happy about that. I mean, a bit. I don't know how great them clips were. We'll find out here in a little bit. But voltage is sitting at 14.9. All right, that's fine. Yeah, man, it just works. The only time I'll have the voltage drop a bit, and it gets down in like the mid 13s, is like when I've got the heat of the air all the way on and I'm at a red light with my foot on the brake. It'll drop down sometimes. But I mean, other than that, for me, just having a regular flooded battery up front and then one flooded in the rear, like, it's not bad at all. I'll get to the battery part I don't know, here in the near future, whenever, right before I'm gonna throw in a couple more 12s back there, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm just gonna throw this little video together. This is my little update, what I've been up to. And moral of the story, go get you a JS Alternators alternator. They just work, man, and you set it and forget it. You just put it in there and don't worry about it anymore. And check out my promo code down. I'll put it down in the description. Miata Khalifa. Get $25 off your order if you do decide to get one. But as always, appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all.